I've been a vegetarian. I eat meat some days I don't. I've been a gangster some days, and then I've been a man of God. I've even had a couple of women call me a horny Christian. Hey, just what it is, man.
Episode 10 with my man, James Arceneaux. The man. My big brother, man. I love this guy. I mean, if there's anything you need at any time of the day or night, you can call him. And I just want to say, man, it's a pleasure to have you on our show. You know, Life After Sports 23, episode 10. And that seems like a good number for you, man. I know you probably got your screen. You're looking at yourself twice, aren't you?
Absolutely. Man, I love me. I love some meat. You know that.
I know that's right, baby.
You know that. I'm humbled to be here, man. I'm just a regular guy, man. I'm kind of a little concierge to the stars, you can call me. But I'm just a regular guy, man. I'm just enjoying the ride, man. It's been beautiful.
And James Arceneaux, a concierge. No, a chef?
I do that too.
He can cook, man. I'm gonna tell you, James Arceneaux can cook. I mean, we haven't had the cook-offs yet, but
right. I can't make chicken. I can't make chicken better than you. I'm gonna go and lay that down now. Okay. I can't put no chicken on the grill better than you.
Oh, so you make good.
I dream
chicken?
about your chicken right now. I can eat your chicken any time of day. They ought to use it. They ought to use it for interrogation food down at the jailhouse to get people to tell the truth. It's that
damn.
Good.
Yeah, I made some last night, man. Was some Cuban rice.
Oh,
yeah, I made the yellow rice, man. I did it up last night. So what's going on, James? Where you at right now? What's happening with you?
I'm in Los Angeles. I'm here helping my man Johnny Gill out. I've been working with him for years. Me and Johnny met a long time ago. I used to work for the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. I did all their celebrity wishes for kids that were terminally ill with cancer. And Johnny actually did my first wish. And the little girl that he did it with, her name was Jennifer. Johnny was so good to her. Johnny wouldn't take any of the money. He put his own money up, took the girl out for dinner a couple of nights in a row and everything, spent time with her. And it was so amazing. I just said, hey, man, I'd love to be friends with a guy like this. Because I had a different impression of celebrities at that time. And Johnny kind of showed me that this is really not celebrity. This is me being the human being that I am. And it was amazing. And we've been friends ever since. And I've been working off and on with him for pretty close to 25, 30 years now.
How is it working with different groups like New Edition and other celebrities that you work with outside of Johnny Gill and New Edition? How is it? Is it a big difference? Or with your friendship with Johnny, I can see how much passion that you have when you speak upon Johnny in New Edition. Mm-hmm. Is that the same passion that I'm pretty sure that's the same passion that you give to the rest of your celebrity friends that you concierge with?
Absolutely. But some celebrities are just like people. They bullshit.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I just had to keep it real, man. That's just the way it is. You're actually talking about human beings, Mm-hmm. You can catch somebody on the wrong day or at the wrong time, just like you can if you walk into somebody's house. I think one of the challenging things is oftentimes you're the first person that they get to see when they wake up in the morning sometimes. You're the first person that they talk to oftentimes when they go through challenges and through certain situations. So you got to tame your emotions down and not take it personal. And that's one thing I've been able to do with all the people I work with. First of all, for the fact that they've actually hired me or asked me to work with them says a lot about how they feel about me. So I never really take, when they need to get on me hard about something or they need a place to vent, I never take it personal. So that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, that's one thing about James. I think, like I said, he's around that life all the time. Mm-hmm. But most of the guys he's around, I know, and they're just good people too. You know what I mean? Right. There's always one or two, like you said, that feels himself. You know what I mean? So other than that, like I said, man, this man stays in my house. Man, I've never seen no one raid a pantry like this guy, man. I mean, he raids a pantry.
He's
He's a Presbyterian. What are you? What are you this week? What are you today? You don't eat chicken?
All the celebrities get their pantry raided. Yours right now is number one.
All right.
You have everything in there.
Don't
I think it has to do with your family, being accommodating to your family, but you got everything in your pantry. In other words, I can sit down and just think and dream about something, and it's probably in your pantry.
Yeah, great.
Guaranteed.
I just walked in and looked at it.
Then you got celebrities. Then you got celebrities that they pantry really ain't no hit. Their pantry is kind of sometimes parallel with their careers.
Empty. Hey, I get it. I walked in and I looked on the counter. I say, Greg, what is all this stuff? He say, I'm just an organizer, Jay. I'm just organizing.
Yes, he is. Very clean, very organized in his home. Absolutely.
I love it. I love that.
Yeah, so, but tell us about Eddie, man, because, I mean, I'm from Sacramento. James spent a lot of time in Sacramento working with Eddie Murphy. How was it working with Eddie?
I'll tell you something, man. First of all, Eddie Murphy is probably one of the most generous people that I've ever worked for in my entire life. He's very generous to everybody around him. He takes care of everybody. During the period that I worked for him, I had some challenges with a couple of things financially. He came through for me. He never asked any questions or anything. He basically said, hey, you're on my team. You're my guy. I got you. I still, to this day, I have a relationship with his mom. His brother Vernon is one of my best friends in the whole wide world. We talk regularly every day. And I just think Eddie's really a stand-up guy. He's probably one of the most talented human beings I've ever come across in my entire life. Just naturally talented. He's a naturally talented artist who actually rehearses and practices to be better.
That's what's up.
That's the thing about the great ones. Our team, we were talking about that. How people don't enjoy the journey. They just want the end result. The new generation, they say, I'm going to make, just throwing out a number, $1 million. I'm going to make $1 million a month.
Right.
All right. What's the game plan? How you going to get there?
Exactly.
I woke up today, so I deserve it. So I should make $1 million a month. You know what I mean?
But that ain't the problem.
Absolutely,
that ain't the problem. Making it, it's keeping it.
And see, you can relate to it because it's similar to the preparation that an athlete does, getting ready for something and deciding that he wants to do something. You sit at home. I even remember reading in your book, James. About sitting at home and being a child and watching something on TV or seeing that defining moment and deciding in your mind, this is what I'm going to do. There's no obstruction that's going to stop me from doing what I want to do. Most of the artists that I worked with are similar to that. I had a 12-year relationship with Anita Pointer from the Pointer Sisters, who, God bless her soul, she passed last year, January. But I got the opportunity to live with somebody who is a huge celebrity. So you get to understand the demeanor of people, what they're going through, what their challenges are. And they do regular human stuff. It just gets magnified because of who they are. So it makes it a little bit more challenging at times. But the talent is the talent. Either you got it or you don't. I don't know if I could say you're born with it or if you actually establish it within yourself, but the talent is the talent. Good is good and bad is bad.
Yeah, I know that's right. The thing I like about James, what people don't know, his heart, man. This dude gives. I mean, he's at everything that I do. He comes, he supports, he asks if I ever need anything.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's solid, and he's one of the, I hate to say it, funniest human beings I've ever been around. I mean, this is like, this is rated G right now for him. You know what I mean? And, because usually he's a little pissed off when I'm whooping his butt on that golf course.
Oh man, that Greg whooping on you now.
Hey, I'm your guy, man. I'm your guy. I'll bust somebody in that frontal lobe for you too. You know that.
Hey, but
Absolutely.
you know what's so weird, G, is when I met James, it was about I was just getting my book off the ground, and he came in and introduced himself to me, man. It was like a brother that I had all my life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the big brother of my family. And then you came in. I was like, okay, I got somebody I know got my back on this book. And he stepped in. He read it. He gave me pointers. He told me, hey, man, this is a good point. This is a bad point. And for a brother that just met me to be able to talk to me like that, it meant a lot to me because that meant that he cared enough about where I was going to help me get there. And that meant a lot to me, James, and I didn't get the opportunity to say that to you, but thank you, brother.
I appreciate it, man. I really think it's this too, man. I love people. There's a lot of people that don't like people. You'd be surprised. If you really sit down and have conversations with people, they don't like people. But I really love people, all types of people, from all different, walks of life and different backgrounds. And my friends, it's really only a few friends, but I'm loyal to them. And that's important to me, to be loyal to my friends, not to look at my emotions, what I got to do or where I'm at. But if they need me, I'm going to come through. I'm going to fight to the end to keep my word. Sometimes keeping our word, sometimes it look like we ain't doing it, but people can tell because you're going to come through at the end. When it's all said and done, they're going to be able to say, hey, James kept his word. He came through. He did what he said he was going to do. And that's the most important part.
And that's
I think that's the thing that's even propelled me to the place that I've been in this business,
Yeah, and that's how I feel about you. I mean, at one time I was like, man, I haven't talked to James in about a month, right? And he popped up, bam, right on target when I was thinking. Yeah. I was like, man, you must read my mind. He said, no, I'm always on time.
No, I heard you say it, so I called him.
Oh, yeah? But no, my dude is always on time, man. He's always been on time.
Well, I want to deliver. That's what I do for a living. I deliver to people. I remember working for Eddie one time, and I went out to do something. I can't exactly remember what it was, but he told me, basically, for the kind of money I got, I don't want to hear no. Okay? I can't hear no. So I had to get it done, and I got it done. And I think his language was somewhat inspirational to me, and it helped push me and gave me a boost of enthusiasm and confidence as well.
Yeah, well, like I said, my golf tournament's coming up at the end of April, April 29th. He will be there.
Yeah.
He's always there. I got to make sure my pantry's on point because, man.
Absolutely.
Get there early.
Yeah, he can raid a pantry, man. And
I cut down on the sugar a little bit. I cut down on the sugar.
Good.
And doubled up on the salt.
Oh man, you trying to kill yourself twice.
I mean, he don't drink. One day he's a vegetarian. He's Presbyterian, then a flight attendant. I don't know. What are you today? What are you today?
Come on.
A man of many faces.
Miss Cleo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been a vegetarian. I eat meat some days I don't. I've been a gangster some days, and then I've been a man of God. I've even had a couple of women call me a horny Christian. Hey, just what it is, man.
Man, I love you. Hey, man, tell us about your start growing up, in the Northwest, and you know what I mean.
Right. I grew up in Portland, Oregon, where it rained all the time, and I used to walk down the street when I was a kid, and I used to pray. I said, God, if you let me move somewhere where it's warm, I promise I'm going to be a good person. I do not like rain. I hate it when it rains. And that's all it does in Oregon. So the first place I actually moved when I left Oregon was Honolulu, Hawaii. And that's where I met my ex-wife and married and had a couple of children and everything. But I remember sitting at home one day also watching Soul Train on TV. And Portland is a predominantly white community. Mm-hmm. So we didn't have a lot of black radio stations or black R&B music or anything like that. So I remember watching Soul Train on Saturdays, and I looked on there and I said, man, them Negroes is having fun in California, and I got to get out there. They having way too much fun. This was when they was doing all this dancing and all of this and all of that,
It was rerunning,
I'm getting to California no matter what I do. And I finally made it out here to California, made my way to California to start being involved in the entertainment business.
So that was your first job. What was your first job when you got to California in the entertainment business?
I'll tell you something that was interesting, that set the mark for me. when I first got to California, I met a guy named Stacy Strickland. And this is a guy who was the #1 con artist on the planet, okay? And he told me, he said, I'm gonna show you how to get into anything and get into anywhere you want to get in and meet people, all right? And I used to ask him how. And first thing he did is, I remember when I first came to LA, Louis Farrakhan was speaking at the Forum in Los Angeles. And Stacy said, come, I want to take you somewhere tonight. I said, where? He said, I'm going to take you to meet Louis Farrakhan. I was like, man, you must be out your mind, man. I said, man, this man got security and all this. He said, come with me. I'm going to take you to meet him. Next thing I know, I'm sitting on the stage right behind Louis Farrakhan's FOI guy. Okay? So this guy proved to me that I could get into anything and get into anywhere. Okay? And this guy showed me how to get into major functions in Los Angeles by meeting people and some things to do. And I'll give you a scenario in a minute of how he did it. But secondly, I had a meeting. I messed around and got a meeting with Dick Griffey, who actually owns Solar Records. Mm-hmm. And I got a meeting to meet him in his office. And he thought I was a fascinating guy. And, you know, I met him out in the club or something. He was, oh, yeah, man, you come to my office and we're going to talk about the record business, this and that. And I got in his office and I sat down and he said, so what do you want to do? What do you want me to do for you? I got you, whatever you need. Man, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. I was like, well, you know, I want to get some acts and be in the business and do this and manage them and this and that. And so he said, hang on just a moment. He went into a back door. And about 10 minutes later, his secretary came out and said, Mr. Griffey said he had an emergency he had to go to. He'll be back with you. He'll get back with you, try to have a meeting with you next week. I knew that was the call that you ain't getting nothing from me.
Because you didn't know what you wanted.
Yeah, you didn't have your stuff.
So I made it a point that anybody I ran into after that in the business, I was going to have what I call GPS. A goal, a plan, and a strategy.
All right.
Even if I didn't know what it was, I was going to have a goal of what I wanted to do. I was going to have a plan of how I was going to get it there, and I was going to have a strategy of how they could help me put it together. And so anytime I worked for anybody, I've always taken that approach.
I love that, man. For all our viewers out there, please understand what GPS means. Tell them again, James,
Exactly.
what it is.
Exactly.
Tell them what it is, James. I want them to understand it because
a goal,
a lot of our young people
plan,
need
and
this.
a strategy means that what you do with your goal is you decide what you want to do. In other words, what you want the end outcome to be. Mm-hmm. You sit down and you make a plan on how you're going to get there. And then you strategize how that plan is going to be put in place and work. I'll give you another example real quick of how I did it. I wanted to meet some real high level celebrities like the Steven Spielbergs and all those people. Mm-hmm. So I found out what charity that they frequent every year. So I went to the people that were in charge of the charity and I said, I want to work for you guys for free. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to give me 2 tickets to the charity to sit down. You can put me in the back room or whatever, but I want 2 tickets to come to the charity. Because I knew that if I was sitting down at the charity, people was going to say, this guy is here for a reason. If he didn't have the wherewithal to be here, he wouldn't be here.
That's right.
So I wanted to have the suit and sit down, even if I was in the back of the room. So I worked for this charity, earned enough points, money, whatever you want to call it, to where they gave me 2 tickets to the event. And I walked in the door, did the red carpet like everybody else.
All right.
As a nobody.
And
that builds your confidence. It really does.
Yes, it does. And then for all our viewers out there, that's our part of life after sports. But this was a life lesson, what he just gave you guys. So please rewind it, play it, and understand it.
No, but you know, excuse me. Sports is life. You know, like I said, James played sport. I mean, everybody we have has played a sport that's been on the show. And it doesn't matter what level, you know.
Right.
Life after sports for me and Big James. I'm gonna call you Little. I used to call him Little James, but Little, I'll call you Lil. But Big James,
but I'm Big Game James though.
I got you, baby. Hey, you the oldest, so we gonna let you have it.
Yeah, I'm Big Game James. You gotta call him. Just call him James. Don't call him Little. Just call him James. Call me Big Game.
I got you.
I'm a little too big to be little. I'm 6'7", 300 pounds.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, but our platform was, people say life after sports. Our platform was designed. Life After Sports brought us together. You know what I mean? So that's what Life After Sports is. But it's also a platform that anyone can tell their story. So, the name might throw people off to think that everyone has to play a sport. No, the platform of Life After Sports gave us a chance to get real life stories and let people tell their stories, because all of them are important. You know what I mean? As much as me and you talk, I mean, we talk. We got nephew we talk to. We got everybody that we talk to. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And we get on three-way calls, and I think sports. What people don't realize, sports teaches you how to navigate through life, because you need people. You need your team.
Absolutely.
You need your team to, to navigate. There's not a person on this planet that I know can do everything on their own. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You need a team. We're only as strong as the people we have around us. And I'm gonna tell you, this man, like I say, he doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't do drugs. I think he's probably concussed too from when he played football in Portland, but because he
trying to get out of Portland, he bumped his head.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, holding people accountable. Like I said, not necessarily being around yes men.
Absolutely. I've never been a yes man to nobody. Everybody knows that. I stand up for my own, but I make sure I'm efficient and I do a good job. I stay loyal, honest, and integral. I've never had anybody that I've ever worked for in terms of being a celebrity or anything else that could really say anything bad about me in terms of, maybe they couldn't work with me because just the chemistry of people working together sometimes has to be defined different. But they never said he messed with my wife, he messed with my kids, he did anything unloyal. My character has been basically, really impeccable with people. And I have this saying that I came up with a long time ago. And it says this: when purpose is not defined, abuse is inevitable. Okay, so I always, working with anybody, I always had something to do and a place that I wanted to go. So I looked beyond the circumstance or the situation, which always made it better. That's how I met Greg. We first met at this golf tournament. Mm-hmm. I decided I wanted to be involved with this golf tournament. Once I went there, I decided I was going to participate in this golf tournament every year, whatever it take. And I wasn't a big celebrity or anything, but I pitched in and I helped them bring celebrities there. I cooked. I did something that put me in the picture. And it's going on 22 years now that I've been going to this tournament.
The thing about him, like I said, I mean, he is loyal. Hey, man, I'll do, do we need to fill bags? Do we need, the celebrity bags? Do we need to fill the guest bags? You need help at registration? Do you need me to run stuff out? I said, no, man, I just want you to play because you do for everyone else. Right. I want you to play. And then I want you to stay a couple extra days so I can. Right,
absolutely. But you got to realize my training. I walk people's dogs. I take care of kids. I house sit. Okay, I do everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, I'm not turning down no money. First of all, not none of it. I ain't turning it down. Okay, if it's some money to be made, I'm gonna be there to make it. I ain't gonna. You ain't gonna see. Oh, James turned it down. He thought he was too big. No, I'm not. I'm gonna figure out a way to make it work. I'll house sit, babysit your kids, whatever, because I feel like the biggest part of what you're doing, first of all, is you're showing people your character. Mm-hmm. And that can always lead to something else. You have to show people your character. You have to be willing to show them your character at a cheaper price than what you're actually asking for sometimes, with the intention of maybe something happening a little bit better later on down the line.
But I can say this. I think, and this is just my version of you, because I love you, but I think you do a lot of things without expecting anything in return. That would be my assessment. That would be my assessment of you. and your character.
Absolutely.
Oh,
You-
man,
you-
that's the first thing he said to me when I met him about my book. He said, James, I don't want nothing from your book. I just want you to be
Right.
successful. Man didn't know me from a
Absolutely.
can of worms. And that's how he came
Absolutely.
at me, man, and I respect it. And I'll stand up for you on 20 stories high and scream your name, say, that's a good man.
Just give him some potato chips, man. This man eat more potato
Hey,
chips.
man, that's,
You need to leave them
that's all
chips
I
alone.
need. Some potato chips and some chicken. Some potato chips and some chicken. We rolling. I'm the real original Chicken George, man.
Let me tell you something. I make some good ribs.
Hey, chickens make noise, man, when I eat it. I promise you.
What it say?
I love chicken.
Hey, so you don't eat ribs?
Every once in a while, man.
He don't eat meat, man. He don't eat meat. Don't
I'm
look
kind of
like
getting
it.
away from it.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do.
I can make ribs,
This
but I
what I'ma
like
do.
chicken more than anything. I don't know why. I guess my mother bought so much chicken when we was young. We had chicken soup, chicken stew, baked chicken, chicken parmesan, fried chicken, chicken and mushroom, chicken
Baked
and noodle. We had chicken and everything.
Hey,
So
man,
I'm gonna eat some chicken. That reminds me of my upbringing, eating chicken.
I know that's right. Hey,
But he
man,
can cook, though,
Yeah.
man. So you come, I can't wait to see you in a couple of days, man. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
sir.
Like I said, that's my big brother. And like I said, people don't understand, man, this is a good man. He will do anything for you, James Arceneaux. And I want to say just thank you for being part of our show. And don't be afraid to make sure you sign up for Life After Sports 23 on all the platforms, but YouTube.
Absolutely.
And because, we this is the PG version, because I'm telling you, he's way funnier than this.
Oh, man.
Well, what you want, man? Tell
just
me
give us
what you
a
want.
legit-
You got it. You can get whatever you want. What you want? You got to ask me the questions. I can't just come off the.
See,
Hey,
our producer
can
wants
you
to say,
get, hey,
give
can
us
you
some
give me Eddie
stories.
Murphy?
I want to hear Eddie Murphy's story. I want to hear maybe like a funny Greg story. You know.
Eddie Murphy story.
Yeah.
But the way you say it, though, when I call you, talk the way you talk.
Yeah.
Because this is like this.
Okay,
This sounds
okay,
like your
I'ma
answering
give you-
machine.
I'ma-
This sounds like
I'ma
your
give you
answering
a
machine.
story.
Hi, this is James.
I'm gonna give you a story
and I'm not
about
here
some
right now.
comedians. Huh?
I said, because right now you sound like your answering machine. Hi, this is
Okay,
James.
okay.
Hello, how you doing?
Okay, and that's bullshit. So let me give you the real.
There we go. Here we go. Come on in.
So I'm at Eddie Murphy's house. I'm working for Eddie, and all the comedians, all of them, Alex Thomas, Chris Spencer, Daryl Heath, everybody that was trying to be an up and coming comedian was sitting out there in Eddie's house. Eddie used to have fight parties, and I used to have these big, huge fight parties at his house that I would put together for him. And so all these comedians are sitting in there, and everybody's in there trying to impress Eddie. Eddie's coming downstairs, and guys trying to flip a joke here and there, hoping Eddie will hear him and everything. So it kind of got me a little ticked that you in there trying to impress this dude. I know he's the man. I know he's the GOAT, all of that, but everybody was in there trying to press him. So I said, I'm finna throw these cats off guard a little bit. So I came downstairs and I said, hey, I want y'all to know something, man. I said, everybody ain't going. So y'all need to figure out who gonna be a comedian and who ain't. Because some of y'all ain't gonna make it in your career. So y'all, it's the day that a few of y'all need to make some other career decisions, okay? Because all of y'all ain't funny and everybody ain't going. And if you don't believe me, ask Eddie. Okay?
I bet
And
that fucked him up.
the whole room erupted, and a couple of guys looking over there all shook up and everything, But I used to do stuff like that around people, man, just to have fun. I've been around comedians all my life. Comedians don't touch me. I challenge any of them. They don't touch me. I'll rip their guts out. I'm funnier than most of them comedians that's out there.
That's right.
Okay?
That's what
Some
I
of
want to
those
hear.
guys-
I heard him. I heard him.
Some of those guys are not funny. Now, I got a couple stories I'll tell you about. I told you my Hollywood Henderson story, right?
No. Tell me about Hollywood.
Okay. I'll tame it up a little bit.
don't take
No. This is Life After Sports. Give it to me.
No, so Hollywood. So
You don't have to use no
Hollywood Henderson-
names. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
So Hollywood Henderson, he won the lottery, and his story going around that he won the lottery twice, but he actually only won it once. What he was telling people, the reason he won it twice is because he stopped drinking and stopped doing drugs. So he was saying that that's like winning the lottery twice. Okay, but he won. I think he won like 26 million, so something like that. So he came to L.A. We was hanging out. He had the Rolls Royce limousine. He had a place over at Lowe's and everything. And he started telling me, hey, man, I'm coming to LA, man. We're going to hang out. We're going to play some golf. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm ready to play some golf with you. And we going to Sherwood. We playing golf at Sherwood Country Club, Riviera, all the little spots.
Okay.
And so he said, but one thing I got to do, he said, man, I got to hook up with this chick. He said, and this chick that I'm going to hook up with is, me and her used to have some fun together, man. We used to, do all kind of stuff, other girls, everything. We did everything, man. And she did some stuff to me that was amazing. Okay. I said, really? He said, yeah. So he said, while I'm here, I got to get in touch with this woman so we can hang out with her and party with her. And I said, who is it? And he said, Anita Pointer. And at the time, that was my woman, and I was living with her.
Oh.
At the time, but Hollywood didn't know that. So I'm on the golf course with this dude telling me all about this woman and all the fun he done had. And, he don't know that, so he opening up about everything. And he tell me, Anita Pointer. I said, wow. So I got to go home to my woman. So I figured I'd break the ice by calling and putting her on the phone and letting her talk to Thomas, so they both knew I knew.
Now that's a hell of a life experience.
Hey, what happened when you got home?
Oh, you don't even want to know that story. You don't want to know that story.
No.
But I tell you this. I tell you what. I tell you a golf story that's related to that. I get out. I'm on the golf course. I'm on tour with New Edition at the time, and so Anita calls me one day and she says to me, hey, I want to go into your medicine cabinet and get some of your vitamins. And I was like, please, go right ahead. So she goes in the medicine cabinet, gets the vitamins, and she calls me back on the phone. She said, I got your vitamins out the medicine cabinet. What's all the condoms doing in the vitamin jar? I said, huh? She said, yeah, I found a whole bunch of condoms in the vitamins jar. And I'm on tour now with New Edition, okay? But at this time, I'm out playing golf. I promise you, I hit at least 7 balls straight out of bounds after that. Okay? I'm with Johnny and everybody. I'm hitting balls out of bounds. And I'm a decent golfer, so they trying to figure out what's going on with me. Uh-huh. And I told them that I told her that the condoms was in that thing. Well, she found them in there. And I admitted to him that I put them in there. Man, I didn't even go. Hey, after the tour was over, I didn't even go home for a week and a half. Because I knew what was going to happen.
She had some fun. You had some fun, it sounds like.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
That's a good deal there. With New Edition, I know you've had some hell of a stories with Johnny and New Edition.
Oh, man, it's been all kind of stories. Some stuff it got to stay undercover, man, because I can't. It was so much fun. It was so much fun out there, and especially when Whitney Houston came out there and was on tour with us.
Oh my goodness,
that was really fun.
Man, I wish you could tell us about that. I know you can't, but hey.
Well, I could tell you about the time she got on the airplane and was sitting in front of us, and she went to brush her hair, and the whole wig came off. Okay, the entire wig came off when she put the brush to her hair. Okay.
What's wrong with you, man?
She was pretty down earth late chick.
What's wrong with you, man?
Was she a pretty down earth chick?
That's just the truth. That's funny. That's comical.
I mean, she probably laughed.
But we had some fun too. And I used to work with Charlie Wilson too.
I love Charlie. I love Charlie.
Yeah, actually Charlie, before Charlie got cleaned up, Charlie spent 6 months with me. 3 months with me in Los Angeles. In Hawaii. He came and stayed with me in Hawaii before he got cleaned up. Mm-hmm. Spent some time with me, man. And he was, one of my best guys. And he cleaned up after that, And I think, too, being around somebody that don't do nothing, it has an effect on you. It shows you that it can be done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like I said, he don't drink. He drink water. He drink water 24/7. He don't even wear a hat playing golf.
Sure don't.
He don't wear a hat playing golf. But is to be so healthy in one area and then just a stone cold thief in a pantry. I don't get it, man.
Yeah, you these potato chips.
Well, I was a thief. I was a thief when I was young. You want to hear the church story that I stole $30,000 from the church?
Huh?
You need to hear that?
Yeah.
Or you need to hear the story where my grandmother caught me robbing a gas station. You want to hear that story?
No,
Tim?
I want to know about the 30,000 you stole from church.
Yeah, because you were heathen, man. You were heathen.
So I have a friend of mine named Mark, who I grew up with. His father was the pastor of the church. And he told me, he said, hey, man, we need to get some money. I said, yeah. He said, I'm going to tell you where they put the offering. Okay? And I'm going to set it by the window and leave the window open. So Mark goes over there and leaves the window open. And I go in and get the little church money after the ushers count it all up and put it back in on the file cabinet. I reach in the window and get the church money. It's about 30 grand. It's a big church. Okay? I take out all the checks, okay? I take out all the tithing stuff, open them up, pull all the money out and everything. And I get home, man, and I'm spending money. I give him about $1,500 because he don't know what's in there. So I already know that's going to go back. I give him out everything. And he's saying, I know it had to be more money. I said, man, it was about $2,000-3,000, man. I'm going to give you this money now. Okay, you do your thing. So I don't know if he realized I cheated him or something else, but the detectives came to my house and told me, Mark said, you were the one that stole the money from the church. And I said, no, we stole the money from the church.
You just flat out told me.
Me and the pastor's son, you know how preacher's kids is, me and the pastor's son stole the money from the church. And so I asked him, I got him in the corner, I said, man, why you telling on us? He said, man, my mother got sick. I said, fool, she ain't had nothing but a cold. Okay? How you gonna tell on us? He said, my mother got sick and got the coughing and everything, so I thought she was gonna die. I thought God was gonna kill her, so I told on her.
That's why you don't do no business with no pastor kids.
And so what happened after that? How much time you had to...
What happened?
What happened?
You gotta go downtown. You gotta go downtown to the juvie first. You gotta do that. That's a ride for you. All right? Yeah, I was a mischievous thief. I wasn't a robber or a gangster type dude pulling knives. I was mischievous. I was going to figure a way how to sneak it from you.
You were sticky fingers.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn,
exactly.
I should go look through my house. Shit. You gonna stay with me?
Oh, no, I don't steal no more. I'm still paying for that, man. I don't steal no more.
Hey, God is thumping him on his back of his ass every time he get him. Pow, pow, pow.
Absolutely, man.
Tell me about the gas station.
Repented, and stopped stealing.
What about the gas station?
After I was in college, I can put a guy on the phone right now. In college, I had the key to the adult student housing. And I was going up in people's apartments at night and in the morning while they go to school and stealing groceries and all kind of stuff.
Hey,
that's
man.
what
I had a guy named Glenn Fields. His brother's name was Greg Fields. Greg Fields played for the Baltimore Colts. And his brother, Glenn Fields, was my roommate in college. And he said, a guy came up to him and said, man, could you do me a favor? He said, what? He said, man, tell James Arceneaux to quit stealing out our place and tell him that we see him in there at nighttime. We just scared to get up and say something, but we see him stealing in the house at night.
God damn, man, you crazy.
Yeah, that's the dude I used to be, man. So, I've come a long way, more than you realize.
God damn.
No wonder you didn't judge me with my book.
I don't judge nobody with what they did. I've done it all.
Oh, man.
Hey, I appreciate you. I can't wait to see you in a couple of days, man.
Absolutely, man. And Big James, I'm with you, man, on that movie thing, man. We're going to get that done, brother. And Greg,
what?
I'm going to tell you for the last time. I called Janae. I got the book. It's done. And I can show you the text where she said she was going to call me back, and I'm still waiting.
Okay. Well, send me that text and the book.
I see you that text, but I got her covered, man. You know I got you covered. It's done, brother.
Yeah, I know, Uncle James.
I promise you.
No, you got my daughter covered. I know that for sure.
Yeah, she's amazing at what she does, man. It's big what she's doing, man. Real big.
Thank you. Yeah, right.
Yes, sir.
Being a person that looks like us and that in the world that she lives in, as far as doing equestrian, that's right. I tell her all the time. This is my joke. I said, "Damn!" I said, "Your last name is you got screwed, boo." I said, "Your last name is Vaughn, not Google, not Wall Street Journal." Yeah. I mean, because that's ashtray money for them. You know what I mean? And Janae is she's the highest you can go. You know what I mean? And and I'm very proud of her. proud of my boys. You know them too, so you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you got to put your name on the end of theirs. Make it a real debutante name and call her Von Gregg.
Real
Von
Call her
Gregg.
Von Gregg.
Von Gregg.
Janae Von Gregg.
Hey, I like that. That's shit. We should have did that like St. Brown's daddy did, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Janae Von Gregg.
Damn.
They're going to say, that's special.
Yeah, she is special. I appreciate you, though, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming
Thank
on.
you, brother. I love you, brothers, man. I'm humbled, man. I'm humbled to do this, man. A lot of people don't get to be able to do things with their friends and people that they care about and they love. Man, I am humbled more than anything to do this. And thanks for the fun, the laughter, and more than that, man, it's love for you guys, unimaginably.
And we have a saying that we say
What do we say?
on our show. We're breaking chains and building dreams. And you're a dream.
Absolutely.
And you are a dream bringer, man. And thank you.
Thank you, brother.
For helping us get to where we need to be on our show with my book in a lot of young black men's lives. God bless you, and we'll see you soon.
Hey, you know what?
I got one more thing to say.
Go ahead.
Can I add this? Me and my father started an organization. I got to tell you about this. It's called Honor Thy Father. Mm-hmm. And Honor Thy Father is an organization where we're going to help young men establish themselves with their families, with their sons and their daughters again. That's what Honor Their Father is going to be about. And what we're doing is we're developing a red cedar box. And inside of that red cedar box, each man is going to write a letter to his child, explaining how they got here, what they went through, apologizing to them for any mishaps or being disqualified or not being there as a father. Then they're going to make a promise to be there for him, to continue to work things out with the mothers of the children and everything like that. And this letter is going to come in a red cedar box and be presented to each child by the father. And this organization is going to be called Honor Their Father, Honor Thy Father.
That's cool.
That's what's up, man. Hey, I appreciate you. Love you for that, man, because you know what? At some point, we do have to change the way, you know, we do things. But, you know, going through men's groups and going through different organizations, they weren't taught. So how can we expect them to teach something that they weren't taught? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's easier said than done. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And there's 4 generations I'm looking at. I'm looking at me and my father, who we have a relationship, who had a strained relationship. Mm-hmm. And I'll add that on there too. When I'm in the 8th grade, I come back from a summer vacation. The teacher tells us, write a story about your summer experience. So I wrote this story about me and my dad going fishing, him opening up me a bank account, introducing me to all my family members, doing all of this stuff, man. We had the most amazing summer in the world. The letter was so good, the teacher said, I need to meet this guy who your father is. We need to bring him in the classroom for show and tell. So she called my father and found out that I wrote that it was all a lie. that probably explains what I'm a writer today. But I made that story up. I made it so good that the teacher said, we got to meet this guy. He's going to be our exemplary father for all the children in the classroom.
But you know, that's how a lot of our kids are.
That's one of the things that established me and my father having a relationship we had today. I wanted it that bad, I was willing to develop a story and create something that wasn't true, which we could laugh at today, which is absolutely amazing.
There's a lot of kids out here in the United States that's making up that same story. You know what I'm saying? I was one of them kids that made up the same story. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I was raised by a mother in East St. Louis. You know, just me and my brother and my mother. You know, and my mother was strong. But I finally got, like I said, the opportunity to meet my dad when I was 15. You know what I'm saying? And I take care of my dad today. You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Right out here in Las Vegas, and you have to forgive them when they don't have a blueprint how to take care of you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
When they didn't have a father. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have a father to teach him how to be a father. I didn't have a father to teach me how to be a father. I had to learn all these things on the run. You know what I'm saying? But by the grace of God, I had a great mother. So I was one of those kids that told that story like you did. So don't feel like you're alone.
Well, you know, he's not. You know, he's not alone because, like I said, you know, when you said blueprint, it made me think. You know, back then, you know, in the neighborhoods. You know, it wasn't segregated, but it was still, you know, black people and brown people. We live where we live, and once again, it goes back to the example, you know, of what we seen as, you know, where our minds were developing. We know right from wrong. Right. We know what you're supposed to do, but some of the people that are supposed to be role models, you know, to show us how to do it, you know, and I'm not saying all of them were bad, but the ones that were supposed to do it, we thought this was just a way of life. You know what I mean? Hey,
right.
You know, I have a family here, and I go over here and do this, and I go over there. You know, the blueprint went a lot of different ways. You know what I mean? You know, so, you know, I appreciate, you know, it's who we are today. You know what I mean? Because we can't take back what's already happened. All we can do is try to improve. And
absolutely.
Like I said, you know, iron sharpens iron, like they say. So me, you know, like I said, I talk to this man all the time, James. You know, I mean, even you think about Chris and think about Josh. You know, guys on our team. You know, it's family, man. You know what I mean, James? When you cooking for the whole team, when you coming? Friday?
What's that?
He's coming Friday.
Friday.
Okay.
I hate him.
Friday, then, you know, and
but also remember this. Remember our bonding, our super bonding moment, Greg, was when you stood up for me against a person who was a parasite who was trying to demean me, and you stood up for me. And I'll never forget that as long as I live, okay? You didn't have to do that, but you stood up for me and said, I know this man, I know his character, and what you doing to him ain't gonna roll with me, period.
That's
okay?
why I love that dude.
I ain't gonna say no names, but I appreciate you for that. And I'll never forget that. As long as I breathe God's air on this earth, I will never, ever forget that. And to let you know, really, you and Chris Spencer was the only two people who really stood up. I mean, went to bat. When I say stood up, you put your relationship and your reputation on the line. And that, to me, that's what real men do for each other.
That's right.
So I appreciate you, brother.
No, I love you too, man. And like I said, Chris,
yes.
Chris playing in the golf tournament, and Chris will be here this weekend too. Hey, Chris Spencer, man. Buddy Lewis, Flex. I mean, I know all those guys because of Jane, and I consider them part of my family. You know what I mean? They are just solid people, you know, and very, like I said, everyone's talented in different ways, you know, and I mean, shoot, Flex was famous before anybody was famous, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Homeboys from outer space with the corny hairdo.
Yeah, he was, huh?
Yeah, but not, like I said, I mean, those are lifelong relationship James has, and those people, I mean, they don't know me from Adam, and they accepted me in their family. So
right.
And
let's get those guys. At least a couple of those 6 guys on your podcast, man. I want to introduce you to those guys and get those guys. We all family, man. And if I ask them, they'll do it for me, man.
I got their number. I got their number, fool.
Well, man, they gonna do it because I said do. They gonna do what I tell them to do.
That's right, Jay. Tell it, Jay Boogie,
right.
baby.
I'm OG. I'm OG for real on that level. They gonna do what I tell them to do.
Throw it up, baby. Throw it up.
Absolutely.
I love you, brother, man. Thank you for being part of our show.
Okay.
Life After Sports, episode 10. Thank you.